After a disappointing debut for a new New York Jet, an ESPN insider has proven that it's not all bad and Jets fans have something to be excited about. As Aaron Glenn, we hear him speak out about the most recent huge decision made by the New York Jets franchise that will affect this year, next year, and the years to come, and we have to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Football 365. If you're a New York Jet fan like me, please hit that subscribe button. But getting into the news for today, coming from NFL insider Rich Cimini on ESPN. The good news from Adonai Mitchell's first game with the Jets on Thursday: on a handful of plays, he separated nicely against one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL, Christian Gonzalez of the New England Patriots. At 6'2", with a 4.34 second speed in the 40-yard dash, Mitchell has separation ability, a quality lacking in the Jets receiving core. The trick is holding onto the football. With the Colts, he had 3 drops on 70 targets, a rather high drop rate. With the Jets, he already has 2 drops in 6 targets to go along with 1 catch for 10 yards. So it's not a secret that what everyone remembers from Adonai Mitchell's debut with the New York Jets was the fact that he had a bunch of drops and dropped one of Justin Fields' best passes as a New York Jets quarterback, where Adonai Mitchell was streaking down the left side of the football field. Justin Fields threw a perfect football over his shoulder, landed right in between his hands, but Adonai Mitchell was unable to catch it. And it was another play on what has been a very, very disappointing start of his career for Mr. Adonai Mitchell. The second round pick in 2024 out of the University of Texas had high expectations with the Indianapolis Colts, drafted as the Alec Pierce replacement, but currently has not yet found his footing in the NFL. But according to ESPN, he was still doing some very good things, separating from last season's first-team All-Pro corner Christian Gonzalez, meaning Christian Gonzalez was voted by the Associated Press, objective voters, not associated with any team, as the number 1 cornerback in all of the NFL. And there are some advanced statistics from Pro Football Focus that show exactly what the story is behind this player. We can see that he is a player who excels in the medium and deeper ranges of the field and struggles greatly with drops. Let's just get it out of the way quickly. Red means bad in terms of grading on Pro Football Focus. I know, that's usually how it goes in life. Green's good, red's bad. Not an exception here. 28 graded on drops in medium. How do you grade a drop? I have no idea, but we know he struggles with drops. It's something that Adonai Mitchell is working on behind the scenes, as we've heard from Jets, insiders. Something that he's working on over his career. But what's good about him is he's a big guy who is a deep threat. So far, only a 50.0 receiving grade from PFF. But what we can be excited about is his grade 69.0 in the medium ranges. We already have Garrett Wilson to handle the short and short to medium type of routes. So we are looking for a deep threat, someone who's going to take off the top of the defense and be an extra threat for a new level of opponents facing the New York Jets. We need to figure out something that is going to be able to get open down the field, and that's where Adonai Mitchell fits in with this team. Now, he's got to fix the drops. Hopefully he does fix the drops, but this is someone that we really do need to be excited for. And if you watched the film for his game against the New England Patriots, there were plenty of plays where he was able to separate from his man, whether it was Christian Gonzalez or anyone else. He was separating, he was running good routes, he was getting open. The problem was he had that deep drop and he had the drop on the drag route that would have been his first touchdown as a New York Jet. Would have been awesome to see. Fortunately, the other acquisition, John Mechie, came away with a touchdown pass right after that. But if you haven't heard, the New York Jets have officially benched Justin Fields in favor of backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor. When he was asked, Aaron Glenn said, "Because I wanted to." Well, great answer. When you're the head coach, you don't have to give any more details than that. But coming from Rich Cimini, Glenn actually did elaborate on the decision to bench Justin Fields, saying, "Fields understood my decision. Obviously, he's not happy with the decision, and I don't expect him to be, but he understands. I have to make a decision as a head coach to try to do what's best for this team, and I felt like it was the best decision." Now, I know a lot of New York Jets fans were excited when Justin Fields was picked up out of free agency coming over from the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he's not a quarterback who has made it work in other positions, and the New York Jets are not exactly a franchise that is known for developing quarterbacks who haven't worked out somewhere else. Now, Justin Fields is someone that a lot of fans expected to have a higher ceiling due to his rushing upside, which is something that Aaron Glenn talked about over and over and over again as something that he highly covets in his quarterbacks. Now, yes, Justin Fields was a monster in the run, as evidenced, if you didn't watch him with the Chicago Bears or the Pittsburgh Steelers when he had some amazing runs, he evidenced his amazing talent for rushing on a 4th down play versus the Miami Dolphins early on in the season on Monday Night Football. Justin Fields ran for a 54-yard touchdown versus the Miami Dolphins on 4th down, and if he was sacked on that play, which it really looked like he was going to get sacked, that would have spelt the end of the game for the New York Jets. Fields saved that game, but unfortunately, it doesn't really matter how effectively you're able to run the football if you are not able to be a high-level passer or even a decent passer, and that's what this decision comes down to for Aaron Glenn. We need a quarterback who is going to be able to run the plays that we're calling for him. I mean, easy stuff was not being handled by Justin Fields. I mean, just simple reads. I know that the concepts weren't going to be too out there because Justin Fields is a limited quarterback. People are calling him one read and run. And while that is a little bit harsh and a little bit of an exaggeration, it's not really much of an exaggeration. Justin Fields is a quarterback who never learned how to read the field, and he wasn't going to work out for the New York Jets. So where does this leave us long term? Well, leaves us where a lot of Jets fans are used to being, where we don't have a quarterback. We're going to the draft hoping to find the savior for the New York Jets, but I mean, who knows? Fernando Mendoza is right now number 1 on everyone's board except for Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper still has Dante Moore as his number 1 quarterback. Someone tell Mel Kiper that Dante Moore is not coming out this season. It's already been leaked by a source that is definitely credible. Lenore Sellers and Dante Moore will not be in the upcoming NFL draft. And speaking of not the upcoming NFL draft, we have to remember we have 2 first-round picks in 2026, but we also have 3 first-round picks in 2027, which gives the New York Jets the ability to not take a quarterback in 2026 if they're not in love with their quarterback. Remember, as Jets fans, we watch coaches and regimes come and go, but Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, they only get one quarterback to put their mark on and stamp him and say, this is my guy, this is the guy I'm going to hitch my career to. So if they're not in love with a quarterback, they're not going to take a quarterback just to take a quarterback. We watched that last year. They could have taken Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Shadur Sanders if they felt like it in the first round of the NFL draft, but they decided not to. They decided to do the correct thing, which was bolstering up an offensive line that didn't need the help, but could have certainly used the help. We had a huge gaping hole at the right tackle position, and Armand Membo has been one of the best right tackles in football. So clearly made the right decision there. I will continue pounding the table that personnel-wise, organizationally wise, the Jets are a mess for a rookie quarterback, but personnel wise, the Jets are the best spot in the entire NFL for a rookie quarterback. The Saints are trying to build their team the exact same way that we are trying to build our team. Just like us, they went back-to-back drafts selecting an offensive tackle in the first round. 2 years ago, we picked Olu Fashanu, our franchise left tackle. 2 years ago, they took Talisi Fuaga, their franchise left tackle. Last year, we took Armand Membo, our franchise right tackle. Last year, they took their franchise right tackle, not Trevor Penning. They took Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas. They're building their team the exact same way, and they also have a wide receiver 1 from Ohio State in Chris Olave. They're building it the same way, and the Saints and the New York Jets are building their teams the exact same way because that's how you need to be building a team. You need to build a roster that is ready for a young quarterback to come in and flourish. He needs to have a weapon to throw to, Garrett Wilson, and he needs to be protected. We got the offensive lineman to protect him. Don't forget about John Simpson and Tittman as well. We got the setup. So long term, we're going to have to figure out where are we going to find the quarterback from? Is it going to be the 2026 draft? Is it going to be the 2027 draft? Are they going to look at free agency? That's also an opportunity. There are plenty of options. And also, everyone, I know the most exciting option maybe to talk about. Everyone loves talking about 5 first-round picks. What veterans can we get with that? But that's a conversation for another day. If you stuck around this long in the video, appreciate you taking the time to watch it all the way through. hit that like button if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Jets.